yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display. I got winners on the way. You know you can't knock the hustle. And if you gotta get in place, then we gon' put your business on display. Grab a seat, we need you for a minute. And if you got the goods, we can talk about your business. She know what it's like to make a move independently. And I don't fake us like that. We've been trusting God like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.
Hey everybody, how are you today? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I am super excited to be here again with you this Wednesday for We Work Wednesdays for Nisha's Network. And I'm super excited again about my special guest today. I want to say that God's timing is perfect, you guys. And I've been trying to get a hold of this guest since I Facebook Lived her a couple months back. I think it was the beginning of the year when we were doing the Daniel's fast. And I was looking for some food that was vegetarian and all vegan. And I stumbled across this restaurant, not knowing that the gift that I am about to share with you is one who is friends with many, but so many people were just so mesmerized by her testimony. And I am going to go ahead and introduce to you present to some and introduce to others, none other than the amazing Tina Scott. Hey, Tina. Hey, T.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. She is the owner, proprietor of Vegan Tease in Orland Park, Illinois. And let me just start out by saying the food was amazing. Okay. Her food is so delicious. And I have not conformed to be a vegan as of yet or a vegetarian, but there are moments and seasons where I will shift all meat and dairy out of my diet. And
Nice.
now happens to be one of those times. But what a better time than to interview Tina. So I'm super excited for you to be here with me today. And what I want you to do is just introduce a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and when you started the business and how it even came about.
Okay, I would be glad to. It's good to be here, good to be seen in a time such as this. But how we got started was the Daniel fast. My church went on a Daniel fast, and every time I did the Daniel fast, I would gain 10 pounds. It just continued to do this over and over and over again. And I thought to myself, why am I continuing to gain weight? And so as I began to do that, I really wanted to do it right. But I was literally discouraged because at that time I was 250 pounds and had just been told I had high cholesterol, prediabetes, you name it, I had it. And I was doing the fast this time because I really wanted to hear God and I really wanted to get my body right. And I really wanted to get to a place where I didn't have to take anybody's medication. So I didn't take the medication. So to make a long story short, I started researching everything I possibly could. I always already knew how to cook vegan, but I had not planted it in myself to do it full time like I did. But to make a long story short, which I never do, I
I love that. See, you say which I never do.
I started like really researching it and taking everything out of my diet. And then what I found out was when I really learned how to do plant-based, I started losing weight. I wasn't getting super hungry. I reversed the diabetes. I lost a ton of weight, over 100 pounds. And I'm here today because I wanted to share what I learned. And then I began to marry what I love. So everything at my restaurant are the foods that I liked, the nachos, the gyros, the Philly cheesesteaks. These are the things that I like, but I wanted them to taste like I remembered. And so in order for me to do that, I had to go back and take on another degree. Like four is not enough. I took on another degree. I went and learned how to blend seasonings, and I went over to different countries and I began to learn in the secret because I didn't want anyone to talk me out of what I was doing.
Mm.
Um, so that was one of the things that happened. And then to, I began to test pilot my food on non-vegans in salons at my old work that I was at. Let me give you a quick story that I did. This is a real story. We had a nacho day at my job, and so I decided to bring my nachos and my cheese, and I put it in the red bowl. Usually, that's where you put the real cheese, right? And in the blue bowl, we set up the regular nachos. So everybody's like, I'm not eating that fake stuff or whatever. So when I came back to my bowl, somebody had taken their finger and went around the bowl to eat the last of the cheese. And so I said, oh, I see the nachos are gone. They said, oh, yeah, we didn't want none of that fake stuff. I said, what bowl do you think the fake stuff was in? They said, oh, the blue bowl. I said, no, the blue bowl is the milk cheese. My cheese was in the red. And that's when I knew I had something that was different and that everybody desired. So that's how we started 8 years ago with that particular not your cheese, is what it stands for.
Oh,
Not
nacho cheese. Okay.
nacho cheese. And then nacho cheese came from my name is I go by T, and my friends called it Tease cheese. And apparently there's another company that have a very similar name. So word to the wise of anybody who's trying to do a new company, make sure that there's nobody out there that's got something very similar to what your name is, because they will try to come after you and sue you for that. So I changed it to not hyphen cho hyphen cheese to let them know that this ain't your cheese. This is
Okay.
mine.
This is
Don't worry about it. So,
okay. That is so amazing. So, it's funny you would mention that just about your unique design of your food and what God has given you to put in the food to taste amazing. So people will know it's not anybody's but Tease cheese or
yeah.
Tease vegan teas. What makes you stand out from the rest? Because vegan um, restaurants are popping up everywhere. There's so many influences and people are doing it. But what makes your restaurant and you stand out from the rest? I know one of the things is that you cook your own food and
I
prepare.
do.
I know that part. So you can't say that part, Tina. She prepares
Okay.
and cooks her own. She's working there like a Hebrew slave, but she's going to have to raise up some people to
Great.
do what she does. But go ahead, girl.
That's what we're doing now. One of the things that makes me above the rest is number one, I'm not using Beyond Meat. I'm not using uh, the incredible stuff or whatever it's called. Not that I have anything against it. You do what you do when you use that. But as a chef, I believe that I should put my own flavoring in there. And so basically, what I've done is I've used all of the family secrets that we've used. I have gotten natural seasonings from a real seasonologist that have given me great flavorings, meaning real pure garlic and real pure onion powders and real pure real garlic. I actually cut my own cauliflower from the stalk. I actually cut my own potatoes by hand. We do all of this stuff fresh. We go to farms and this farm to table. So what makes me different is the flavoring. I am when you're using seitan or seitan or seitan, depending on where you're from, you can blend with salt all day long. But when you're blending with real seasonings, you take that flavor up to a place that no others can do because it's all, relevant to what you're accustomed to. So when you're talking about down home cooking, I am the down home cooking that you remember Auntie and them doing back in the day at the barbecue place. You know what I'm saying? Or from your from your family history and vacations and things of that nature. So what makes me different? Number one, you're right. I do my own cooking. I prep my own stuff, and we are prepping together. But when it comes to the creation of the meat, I'm cooking it right there in the store. So I'm the chicken, I'm the fish, I'm the cow, I'm all of that. I'm the milk. I'm that. I do all of that myself because I have a propensity of wanting it to taste exactly the same all the time. I create all of the flavoring, so I can be a little bit freer and more and have more liberty in
Yeah.
how I put that food together, because I want you to suck your teeth when you leave me and say, man, I still taste that cauliflower.
Yeah.
I still can taste the flavor of that. And when you burp, you're still burping that food. But what you will not be getting is a swollen belly. You will not be getting, extra fat in your body. But what you will receive is satisfaction. And I liken it to be this: if you've ever asked somebody to scratch your back and the itches in it, itches up at the top of the corner and around in the back, and you're trying to explain to the person where to hit that scratch, that itch at, and they miss it, you become frustrated. But when they get it on target, you're satisfied. My food satisfies you because the flavor's there, the texture's there, and the taste is there. And it reminds you of what you were getting when you were eating the animal products. So I give you that, and I can do that because the price points are affected by me, because I am the bottom line. I'm the denominator. So
Hmm.
without having outside companies working with me, I don't have to bridge the gap by adding more dollars. I want you to be able to afford me. I
Yeah.
want to be the White Castles of the burgers. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes.
if I do that, I can allow you to come in and try and ask questions so that you can, so that you can learn and grow and not feel ignorant. And I hate to use that term, but most oftentimes we won't ask questions because we feel we should know. But sometimes you just need to know, what do you put in there? Is there soy in there?
Yeah.
Why is there soy in there? And by the way, my seitan does not have soy in it. I don't use soy to stretch my food. I don't put soy in my seitan. I don't. So I do use tofu, organic tofu, when I make my fish, but I do not use it within my meat that I create. So
Okay.
that's known. So that's what brings me above the rest, that I can add a little bit extra. I can put a little bit more in there, and I can make it taste the way that I want to make it taste. And I don't use a lot of sodium to sort of mask the taste. You don't need sodium if you got flavor,
Yeah.
right?
That's very true. That's very true.
So that's kind of why I do what I do.
Okay. So
I'm waiting for one of my customers.
okay. So yes, we know that you are very busy, and we are gonna try to get to the meat of some more of the matter. Vegan meat, that is, you guys. So we're here, you guys, with Tina Scott T. Scott with Vegan Tease, the owner and proprietor of Vegan Tease restaurant in Orland Park, which is very busy when you all go, let me tell you. So I appreciate this time. One of the questions is, have you thought of releasing your seasoning for sale as a product? And then I was, and that's very interesting. Somebody asked that from Elise, but one of the things I thought about was like, how do you feel about prepared food? So let's like if you were to prepare meals and freeze them, and we were able to purchase Vegan Teas in the grocery stores. But first, answer about the releasing of your seasoning for sale as a product.
I am doing that. We actually have our one seasoning called the Miami Tropical, which we did release for a while, and I will be releasing it again. I'm just going to bottle it up and start preparing it. The one thing that I'm very concerned about is, like, let's talk about my gyro meat. When you start taking things and bringing it into the grocery store, then you have to add shelf life seasonings in there, like MSG. And then once you start adding all these other chemicals in it, you begin to take away from the value of becoming vegan. Now, again, remember, we are trying to eat clean and remove some of the toxins that we get from the animals. And when you start adding those things in, then you begin to take away from that. So one of the things that I will be trying to do is bringing those type of seasonings into my store, and that way I can control, like my barbecue sauce and things of that nature. We can control what goes in it, and we can control that it doesn't have the MSGs and all those other chemicals that will cause more damage to you than good. What my whole purpose is, and when you talk about the prepared foods, listen, one of the things that we created, which was the wrap and the crab cakes and that, there was a gentleman that had to get a kidney, and he couldn't get the kidney because A, he was overweight, B, his blood pressure was too high, and his wife stopped me and said, hey, my husband's about to die and they won't give him his kidney, can you help us? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I was like, what the heck, let me just try it. And so I researched everything I could. A year later, I got a call from them, and they said, "Hey, we want to thank you." It's on my Facebook page too, by the way. But I want to thank you for everything you did for our family. And my heart sunk. I'm like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" And they said, "We want you to know that Kurt is getting his kidney October 2nd. He's going to Mayo Clinic, and he's done well. He has no more high blood pressure. He's lost over 125 pounds, and today Kurt is building bridges. He's an architect
Wow.
all over the country. So I'm grateful that his wife contacted me and gave me the desire to continue, you know, to do what we were doing and to make this thing work the way that it works. Because had it not been for them, I would not be doing this today.
Wow. Now the testimonials are so huge, and I know you have many. I mean, I was encouraged by your testimonial just about your own health and how
Yeah,
lose weight. And so I want to know, we know what makes you so passionate about it, but especially in our community, what makes you so passionate about just being a vegan and really encouraging and educating us in this today and time when people are on all kinds of medicine and different things like that.
exactly that. Because I have grown up with, I got the sugar, and then my sister, who was 2 years older than me, passed away, from that, saying, I'm gonna eat what I want to eat and I'm gonna do what I want to do. Okay, you can do that. You can go to Food for Less. And I'm not knocking Food for Less, because some of us have to have that kind of a budget. But I want to teach you how to live and not die. Come on now. I
Yeah.
want to how to be able to not pay the doctor so that they can get that check from Eli Lilly and from Squid and all these other places. Do you not know when they write that prescription to you, they're also getting a paycheck because of you? And we got to change that and start changing the behavior of what I cannot take or what I cannot eat. I've heard many people say, "Oh, I can't do without this," or "I can't do without that." Well, I can't do without you. When
Right.
you die because of high blood pressure, diabetes, sugar diabetes, or testicular cancer or breast cancer and all that kind of stuff, we got to start looking at what are we putting into our system. What
Yeah.
is sitting? Let me tell you something. I got put in the hospital as a vegetarian. I was 262 pounds. Okay. And the doctor said to me, he says, "You have pancreatitis." I said, "Well, what's that?" He says, "Do you drink?" Never drank a day in my life. So I said, "Well, how could I have pancreatitis?" He says, "There's something going on." He says, "Your liver is swollen." I said, "Well, why is that?" He says, "You sure you don't drink?" When they started doing the x-ray, they found old meat sitting in my stomach, gathering, that had gathered for years, just sitting there. I didn't have the enzyme in my system to break down that protein. Whatever they were putting in it, all that pork, because I trust me. Listen, Linda. I like barbecue rib tips, extra mild sauce with some white bread and an orange soda. Okay, that's what I used to eat, and that's what I was gonna eat when I got off of the fast. And God said, "Stay on this fast." I'm like, wait. What happened?
What
No, I'm like, this has got to be God, because there's no way. I was looking forward to them rib tips. But God showed me another way to live, and that's what I did. And then here we are, 8 years later, now over 100 pounds lighter. I'm 140 something pounds. I haven't been that way since I was in high school. And then people say, "Are you supposed to be this way?" Wait, what? You know, you look younger, your face looks lighter, you looks brighter. Who doesn't want their stomach to go flat without having surgery? My
Yeah.
stomach is flat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that God spoke to me to do this, because I want to help you live. And listen, Nisha, I was just waiting for the CDC to say you can take those masks off, because I'm not only going to, be your neighborhood, where everybody knows your name kind of person. That's why I go over the top when you walk in and say,
Yes.
"Hey, this is your first time here." We do all of that stuff, and I sing to you and all of that. The reason why I do that is because I want to give you not only the food, but the experience. And then I want to teach you how to do it yourself.
Yeah.
I just don't want your business. I want your life, man. My son says, if you didn't make it, we shouldn't eat it. I am not saying I'm the best out there, but I'm the one that cares about who you are as a person. I am so tired of our people dying of diseases that they didn't even come into earth with. And so if we didn't, pre-diabetes, if I'm pre-diabetic, that means I ate this on. So how do I eat it
Yeah.
all?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't this
That's
earth
so
like.
good. That's so good. So I have a question for you, and it's probably an extreme question, but I want to put it out there because I do know there are people like myself who have not completely gone vegan and this, that, and the other, and people will have. So, what are some small changes for those who haven't totally had adapted a mindset to say, I want to go completely vegan? What are some small changes people can start with, or do you even recommend that?
No, I do have small changes. Stop building your meat, your meals around your meat. Start building your meat around your vegetables.
Okay.
Okay. And then learn how to make the vegetables flavorful.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to go to the grocery stores. You go to Myers and Mariano's. Listen, these guys are waiting to be asked. Go get the produce man and say, "Hey, look, I don't know what the heck this vegetable is. When do I eat it? How do I cook it? What should I put on it?" And then you put your own stank, as we say, on that particular piece of fruit or vegetable.
Okay.
Start blending these vegetables together. Start eating black rice and start getting into
Right.
nuts and fruits and vegetables and things like that. And start buying more seasoning. Get away from Lawry's. Add some thyme and some real thyme and some lime. We've always been a people that knew how to throw together some vegetables now. We know better, but we got to do better
Yes.
because we know better. So my thing is that when you start doing these things, you have to be conscientious of not being so embarrassed by what you don't know. Be embarrassed by what you do know that you don't ask.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. Let's start being intentional about us and our lives. If we really matter, then matter for real.
Yeah.
Because always been a people that know how to throw that thing together. And when you put yourself together like you put it together, like you're accustomed to, you'll be able to do it better. You'll be able to taste it more, and you'll be more excited about what you create because it's going to taste like what you recall.
Wow. That is so great. Oh my gosh. We could go on and on and on. And I just can't even believe we've gone so fast already. But I guess I want to know, like, so I'm a seafood lover.
Yeah,
And
that's
of
all
course,
right.
I've watched other people talk about the nori fakaki. Is that
Mhm.
something you recommend? I've never purchased it, but how does your seafood taste different from the rest? Like I know those crab cakes are amazing because I've had them. So I just want to say that.
Thank you.
But it just seems so, I'm gonna just be transparent. It seems so hard to really prepare. You need time, I guess. That's the thing.
So all you need is the tools.
Okay.
Once you get the tools, and when I say the tools, I'm going to have people come into my restaurant and have a dinner at Tease. And what
Oh,
you're going to do is you're going to make your own food, and
okay.
you're going to sit there and learn how to do it, because once you get the tools, that's the seasonings you need. And once you get to know how, that's the other portions of what you need. Then
Okay.
you put the things together and say, you know what, I would add a little of this, and mama and them used to add that. It's an old story. I'm gonna say this really quick. And I know you heard it. It's a joke, but it's this joke about the ham and the woman taking the hock and she cuts it at the tail. And so the daughter says, "Why you cut the tail, mama?" She says, "I don't know. Big mama do it. Let me call Big mama and ask Big mama why she cut the tail." She said, "Big mama, why you cut the little stump off the ham?" And she said, "I don't know. Um, um, Gma did it." She said, "Let me call Gma and ask Gma." I love the fact that they still all alive. And so she called Gma and she said, "Why you cut the tail off the ham when you cook it?" She said, "Because the pots were too small back then." See, we do stuff that we see other people do, but
Wow.
we don't know why we
Wow.
do it. I want
That's
to teach you the why so that you can do it yourself. I'm not so into, yeah, will I lose money? I don't think so, because y'all ain't gonna want to always do this. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because it's a messy process, and I'm willing to do that for you. But I'm also willing to teach you some of the things that can make your grains taste better, some of the things that make your salad look greater, some of the things that'll make your bread taste more influential. You know what I'm saying? So that you can plate your stuff together and present it, and people sit back and say, you bought that from the store. And you be like, nah, I did it myself. Making your own sauces, making your own dressings. You can do that yourself. And I'll show you how to do it in less than a blink. You saw that? A blink. So one of those things of doing that is giving me great insight. And I've been wanting to talk with you, Nisha, because I've had people say, girl, I heard about you on Nisha Network. I heard about you on Nisha. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute now. Let her get me influence. So people need to see,
Yeah,
listen, I'm not after your money as much as I'm after your health. I'm not after your dollars as much as I'm after your stomach, man. And
yeah,
if I can get you to understand that God said that you shall live and not die, and
yeah,
that your soul shall prosper. And
yeah.
so I want you to have all of the things that God says you. Just because you old don't mean you gotta have a cane. Just because you're at a certain age don't mean you gotta have the sugar. And just because you are a certain way, everybody in your family had high blood pressure don't mean you got to have it.
Right, right. Oh my goodness, that's so good. That's so rich. Okay, so we only have a few more minutes, but what I want to do is I'm going to do a part 2 with Tina with T, and we're
Yes,
going to actually do it at the restaurant. I think we're going to make that happen and watch her in action. We're going to set that up, T, so that we can actually learn some things, and we'll do that
oh,
maybe in the fall. That would be so wonderful. So we'll say she's super busy, you guys. So the fact that she took this lunch hour to give you knowledge and wisdom is so amazing. And to sit down with me, I really appreciate it. And it's really igniting something within me in terms of my diet and just some choices to make differently. One of the things I always ask people is, what are you most proud of? And I'd like to ask you that same question. What is it out of all you've accomplished? What are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of that. My 8-year conversation about brick and mortar actually manifested with me looking at vegan teas sitting before me and people. I'm humbled. I'm honestly tell you, I'm so humbled that anybody would come to my restaurant and say, I really love what you are offering. And that humbles me because people don't have to be nice. People don't have to be kind. And folks don't have to like your food. And so it makes me work harder just so I can satisfy the people that walk through the doors. And I want to be touchable. That's the reason why my phone number, 773-418-7469, is posted everywhere. That's my number. And let me tell you the reason why I did that. I did that so that I could be the person that you can call and ask those questions that you may have been embarrassed to ask before, and try to give you as much as I know, because I've been helped by my own stuff and I want to be able to help you the same way. So it's a ministry to me. I'm grateful that God has chosen me for this time and such as this, and I just want to continue to do it as long as He allows me to, and learn from all of you all. Because as you know, I lost my husband earlier this year,
Yeah.
and that devastated me. But my healing came from the people that walked through the door that
Yes.
said, "Hey, they loved on me, and I loved on y'all back." And I'm just mostly grateful that God has allowed me to have these recipes stuck up in my head, and He showed me how to do this. I didn't know how to do this, even though I have been classically trained, but the other stuff has come because God has shown me what to do and how to do it. And he speaks to me in the midnight hours, and I come and try it out, and it works. I'm like, all right, God, all right, you want me to do what? And so I just smile on my face because, like I said before, if you don't have to take a medication because of something you got from my restaurant, that speaks volumes to what more can happen, and how many more places we're going to be opening because of what you all are doing. And I tell you this, I will stay true to my customers until the day I leave this room.
Well, we know that the vegan teas is going to expand. So we say, get ready, get ready, get ready, because they're going to be vegan teas all over the world. And we're
That's
excited about that, you guys. So get ready that a vegan teas is coming near you. But until it does, where are you located, Tina?
14600 South LaGrange Road, Unit 1, where you will find this green and yellow sign on the west side of the block, right in the same parking lot as Walgreens and Noodles and Company and Burger 21. Not that I'm giving them a plug, but hey, if you want some good vegan food, that's where you should come. I think my battery's going down, but on LaGrange Road in Orland Park, Illinois, we're waiting to serve you. And we definitely, if you tell me it's your first time, be ready for something that you've never seen and experienced.
All
I
right,
guarantee.
guys, you all heard it straight from Tina, Vegan Teas. T, go see Not Your Cheese.
Oh, nacho cheese, okay?
Nacho, excuse me, nacho cheese. Okay,
That's
go
right.
get you some
That's right.
nachos from Nacho Cheese from Vegan Teas over in Orland Park. Thank you so much for today, Tina. We are super excited,
Thank
and
you.
we'll look forward to part 2. Hang on for a minute and we will be back in a minute. Thank you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.